All right, call to order the Beverages Licensing Authority hearing for January 17th, 2024.
Thank you. We're going to start with instructions for virtual hearing and rules of decorum. I'm going to share my screen. All right. The city has engaged with, sorry, okay. All right, cool. The city has engaged with community members to co-create a vision for productive, meaningful, and inclusive civic conversations. This vision supports physical and emotional safety for community members, staff, and board and commission members, as well as democracy for people of all ages, identities, lived experiences, and political perspectives. More about this vision and the project's community engagement process can be found on our website. The following are examples of rules of decorum found in the Boulder Revised Code and other guidelines that support this vision. These will be upheld during this meeting. All remarks and testimony shall be limited to matters related to city business. No participant shall make threats or use other forms of intimidation against any person. Obscenity, racial epithets, and other speech and behavior that disrupts or otherwise impedes the ability to conduct the meeting are prohibited. Participants are required to sign up to speak using only the name they are commonly known by, and individuals must display their whole name before being allowed to speak online. Currently, only audio testimony is permitted online. And then the Q&A function should only be used for technical questions to staff and should not be used for public comment. All right. Next, we have member roll call. You'll just speak your presence aloud. Member Mike Absalom.
Member Absalom, present.
Member Michael Carr.
Member Carr, present.
Chair Matt Califano.
Chair Matt Califano, present.
And Member Leah Roberts.
Member Leah Roberts, present.
Thank you. And next we have the approval of Beverage Licensing Authority minutes from November 15th.
Did any of the board members have any edits? Member Califano did not.
Member Absalom will abstain as I was not present.
All right, not seeing any. Is there a motion to approve?
Member Carr will make a motion to approve.
All right, Member Roberts, was that a second?
I'll second that motion to approve.
Great, all in favor say aye. Member Califano, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Roberts, aye.
Member Absalom abstain.
Minutes approved.
Thank you so much. Next is hearing agenda issues from licensing clerk, and we have no agenda issues today. Next is agenda item 2, matters from Boulder Police Department. And Officer Leah Reck is here. She is on the phone. So Officer Reck, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. You should be able to talk. If not all. There we go.
Hi, it's Officer Reck. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi. I have no issues, nothing to bring up other than I've collected over 1,400 fraudulent IDs. We had 2 show cause hearings that are going to be coming up next month, and we are getting ready to start our inspections here this next week.
Great, thank you for that. I did have one question. Are you upping at all or able to up your compliance checks?
Yeah, so we have, I had an injury, so I wasn't able to go out to full duty. I finally got released back to full duty in December. And now that all the holidays are over and everything, we have a set plan. The marijuana officer, Gignac, and I are planning on hitting those at least a couple of times a month, if not more than that.
Great, thank you. Any other questions from the board? Not seeing any. All right. Well, thank you, Officer Reck.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Officer Reck. I'm going to mute you. If you need to say anything else, just go ahead, and I think you can raise your hand by doing *3, or you can just send me a quick email and I'll let you. Okay. Next we have agenda item 3, which is matters from Responsible Association of Retailers. I don't see that Nathan or anyone from RAR is here yet. I know Nathan is going to be late sometime, so if he comes in, I'll let you guys know and we can revisit that. Next we have agenda item 4, general public comments for future beverage licensing authority hearings. If there is anyone who is in attendance who would like to give general public comment on something that is not on the agenda, go ahead and raise your hand at this time. You can also give me a thumbs up if that works. I'm not seeing anyone. Last call, if you're here to give general public comment, go ahead and raise your hand or give me a thumbs up. All right, not seeing anyone. Okay, next we have agenda item 5, Panko Corporation, DBA Chicken on the Hill, 1119 13th Street, Boulder, Colorado, 80302. Monthly status report to the BLA, and if you are here to report on this matter, go ahead and raise your hand. All right, Mr. Liu is, and while Mr. Liu is entering the meeting here to be able to talk, I'll let the BLA know that as of January 16th, the licensee was not in good standing with sales tax, but as of about an hour before the hearing, the licensee did become in good standing with sales tax. So that's just an FYI for you guys.
Great. Thank you, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Mr. Liu, can you explain a little bit about why that was not filed on time?
So when we were filing our taxes, I wasn't aware of this line 6A city food service tax, and we got it all figured out. They were telling me that I have to put our gross revenue into that as well. So I fixed it all up for all of the sales tax that we have been filing, so we're all in compliance.
Okay, thank you for that. Are there any other questions from the board?
Was that a change in the forms? What caused that oversight to occur now?
I wasn't aware that we're supposed to unclick the box. It was a little check box, and then we have to put in our gross revenue. I wasn't aware of that until now.
So next month you'll be on time then, right?
100%.
Great. Yeah, I just think there would be some considerations if you weren't on time next month again. Just want to make you aware, just because you're already here. So I just want to put emphasis on that.
100%. I understand that.
There any other questions? All right. Thank you, Mr. Liu.
Thank you, sir.
Caitlin, you're
Yeah.
muted.
Oh my gosh, sorry. Thank you. Okay, next we have agenda item 6, which is continued public hearing and consideration of an application filed on March 29th, 2023 from Rafa Racing LLC, DBA Rafa, 1815 Pearl Street, Boulder, Colorado, 80302. Simon Matchroom, 100% owner, and Renee Herrera, registered manager, with the premise business mailing address for a renewal of a beer and wine type liquor license. If you're here to speak on this matter, go ahead and raise your hand. I think I see Renee. Okay, and Renee is coming into the meeting here. And then while that's happening, I'll let you know that this licensee is in good standing with sales and occupation tax. And then they did submit some information that is new and that is in your packet as well. So they submitted that for this hearing. And Mr. Herrera, I'll have you turn your camera on if possible. Awesome. And you're muted for me, just so you know.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so are you the only one that's going to be appearing today?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'll just swear you in really quickly. If you will raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the statements you're about to give before the Beverage Licensing Authority are true and correct?
Yes.
And do you swear or affirm that the premise has been posted for at least 10 days prior to today's hearing?
Yes.
Okay, great. And then if you'll just say your name and spell your name and provide your address for the record.
Yes. My name is Rene Herrera, Reneherrera, and our address is 1815 Pearl Street, Boulder, Colorado, 80302.
Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Herrera, I'm going to go ahead and read the proceedings into the record since you're not represented by counsel. This is a public hearing before the Beverages Licensing Authority of the City of Boulder to determine whether or not the application of Rafa Racing LLC, doing business as Rafa, for renewal of a beer and wine type liquor license shall be granted or denied. This hearing conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Colorado and the rules of the Beverage Licensing Authority of the City of Boulder. The purpose of this hearing is to receive information, data, and testimony by interested parties in order to enable this authority to make findings and to reach the conclusions required to be made by state law as to whether or not the license shall be renewed. Interested parties are the applicant, residents of the neighborhood affected by the license as previously determined by the authority, and the owners and managers of businesses located within the neighborhood. This hearing shall be limited to questions of whether or not there is good cause to renew the license as set forth in the notice hearing dated January 17th, 2024. The record is being made of these proceedings. Those who desire to be heard shall identify themselves by stating their name, spelling their last name, and stating their pertinent address. They shall also be sworn in by the board secretary. Is there any ex parte communication or conflict of interest from any of the board members? Member Califano, no.
Member Absalom, no.
Member Carr, no.
Member Roberts, no.
Great. And is there anyone here in the attendees that wishes to speak to this agenda item? If you could please raise your hand. Not seeing any. All right. Mr. Herrera, you may proceed.
Yeah, so we submitted our application. It was a couple of tax documents. I don't think that was approved. I also didn't have staff members that were TIPS certified. Now our management team is TIPS certified, and we have a alcohol responsible policy established in the clubhouse, and it's printed. We are mostly using this for private social gatherings after hours.
All right. Are there any questions from any of the board members for Mr. Herrera?
I do have one, Mr. Herrera. I'm just looking at the document here that you filled out here. It says, after a recent change in staff, you don't currently have anyone trained by a vendor class. So I also see those training documents down below. And at the end of the statement, it says, we are currently not serving alcohol or hosting events. You just said that you're only going to be doing private events. Can you just expound on that for me?
Yes, so we have a cycling club called Rafa RCC, Rafa Cycling Club. It is a membership. It's $95 a year. And occasionally we do hold monthly or quarterly socials in our space where we have our members gather. We have food and drinks provided. And there is an RSVP list that we use through our private app.
So when you say mostly, though, are you still serving beer and wine when you're not having events?
We do not serve beer or wine.
I have no other questions.
Yes.
Great. Are there any from any of the other board members? All right, Mr. Herrera, is there anything else you'd like to present?
That is all for me today.
Great. At this time, we'll go ahead and close for deliberation. Is there a motion, a discussion?
Member Absalom, so one of the things I noticed is the document that you were referencing was from March 28th of last year. So I think that was the way that they were before. I noticed that they have tips training in place now. So I don't know if that further clarifies.
Yeah, I guess I was just seeing it in the packet was I saw that too. I was just wondering why that was included. And then I guess that was just part of what we were going over from that last hearing. So just confirming, I saw that and I was just confused about it. And with that, I will make a motion to approve the renewal.
Member Calif- Oh, go ahead.
It's all right, you were there.
Member Califano would second. I think it seems pretty low key at this point with the refining of their application, so I don't see it as a risk. So all in favor say aye. Member Califano, aye.
Member Absalom, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Roberts, aye.
All right, license approved.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, and next we have agenda item 7, continued public hearing and consideration of an application filed on September 11th, 2023 from Bunty and Ronnie Corp. DBA Broadway Wine and Spirits 2550 Baseline Road, Boulder, Colorado 80305. LW Ferrone LLC partial owner, Dana E. Strong Living Trust partial owner, Michael Van Loon partial owner, David Chunknova partial owner, and Nick Patinella partial owner and registered manager. The business mailing address of 7855 Valmont Road, Boulder, Colorado 80301 for a renewal of a retail liquor store type liquor license. If you're here to speak on this matter, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, and then while the licensees are being admitted in here, I'll let the board know that this application is in good standing with sales and occupation tax. And then just a reminder, the reason for the continuation was because the public posting requirement was not met last time. The poster was picked up this time, so we're good on that front. Okay, and then if you're here to appear on this matter, go ahead and turn your camera on and unmute for me.
Hello.
Hi there. Okay, Mr. Singh, are you the only person who's going to be appearing today?
I believe the owner also is here. I'm just trying to see if I'm not sure if he's that tech savvy yet. Just trying to get him to join as well too. So yes.
Okay, I'll start with you then. If you'll say your name and spell your name for the record.
Yes. My name is Prabjit Singh. I go by Prab, Prabhjit. Last name Singh, Singh, and I go by Prab.
And if you'll state your address for me.
Address is 6996 South Gun Club Court, Aurora, Colorado 80016.
Thank you. And if you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the statements you're about to give before the Beverage Licensing Authority are true and correct?
I do.
And do you swear or affirm that the premise has been posted for at least 10 days prior to today's hearing?
Yes, I do.
Okay, awesome. And then if someone else is going to be giving comment today, I'll have them turn their camera on and unmute. We'll do the same thing.
I'm just going to text him to see, turn their camera on.
I think we're good. Okay, so you've unmuted and maybe the camera's turned on, but the screen is still black.
They might have joined it via phone. I'm not quite sure if they so. And he said he's trying, so
okay, no worries.
And Prab, you're not representing his counsel, are you?
Not as counsel. I'm accountant slash bookkeeper. I helped fill out the application and submit all the paperwork to the board and any other follow up that needed to be done. So.
Great, thank you.
Okay, it looks like we've got our last them. So I'll go ahead and let the board proceed, and then if they come back in, then I'll re-swear them in.
Great.
All right, so since you're not representing as counsel, I'm going to go ahead and read the proceedings into the record. All right. This is a public hearing before the Beverages Licensing Authority of the City of Boulder to determine whether or not the application of Bunty and Rani Corp. Doing business as Broadway Wine and Spirits for a renewal of a retail liquor store type liquor license shall be granted or denied. This hearing is conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Colorado and the rules of the Beverage Licensing Authority of the City of Boulder. The purpose of this hearing is to receive information, data, and testimony by interested parties in order to enable this authority to make the findings and reach the conclusions required to be made by state law as to whether or not the license shall be renewed. Interested parties are the applicant, residents of the neighborhood affected by the license as previously determined by the authority, and the owners and managers of a business located within the neighborhood. This hearing shall be limited to questions of whether there is good cause not to renew the license as set forth in the notice of hearing dated January 17, 2024. A record is being made of these proceedings. Those who desire to be heard shall identify themselves by stating their name, spelling their last name, and stating their pertinent address. They shall also be sworn in by the board secretary. Is there any ex parte communication from any of the board members or conflict of interest? Member Califano, no.
Member Absalom, no.
Member Carr, no.
Member Roberts, no.
And is there anyone here in the attendees that wishes to speak to this agenda item? If you could please raise your hand. I am not seeing any. All right, Prab, you may proceed.
Well, thank you for the opportunity and good afternoon to all. I just would like to make a few statements. We picked up the poster and put it on the property 10 days ago as it was missed last year before the last meeting. That's why hence we're here. It was postponed. All of the other documents have been submitted. Tip certification of all the employees, no violation within the last year, the first year of the operation of the liquor store. And I'm just here to answer any questions the board might have.
Great, thank you. Are there any questions from the board members? Not seeing any. All right, Prab, is there anything else you'd like to conclude with?
Just your blessing for approval, I guess.
Great. At this time, we will close for deliberation. Is there a motion to approve?
Yeah, I see the training documents in there, and sounds like the poster was up for the amount of time that was needed this time, so I don't see any reason not to approve at this point. So Member Carr will make a motion to approve.
Member Absalom would second.
All in favor say aye. Member Califano, aye.
Member Absalom, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Roberts, aye.
All right, license approved. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we have agenda item 8, which is public hearing and consideration of an application filed on October 30th, 2023 from Century Theaters, Inc., DBA Century 16, 4800 Baseline Road, Boulder, Colorado 80303. Cinemark USA, Inc. stockholder Mark D. Zoraldi, CEO, Michael D. Cavalier, VP and Secretary, Sean R. Gamble, EVP and CFO, Kayla Lewinsky, registered manager with the business mailing address of 3900 Dallas Parkway, Plano, Texas 75093 for renewal of a lodging and entertainment type liquor license. If you're here to speak on this matter, go ahead and raise your hand. I see Mr. Prophet is here. And as I'm getting everyone promoted to panelists, I'll let the board know that this application is in good standing with sales and occupation tax. And I apologize, but the renewal hearing notice didn't get put in the packet. So it was sent as an agenda today, and it's also on the website. Or sorry, as an amendment today, and it is also on the website. So you'll just want to reference that. All right, and then Mr. Prophet, if you'll just record your appearance for me, and then let me know who else is going to be appearing today.
Certainly, Ms. Kellogg. Thank you. Brian Prophet, registration number 31101 on behalf of the licensee, Century Theaters, Inc., doing business as Century 16. I believe, also on the Zoom recording is Mr. Matt Dunn. He is the Senior Director of Food and Beverage for Cinemark, which is the overall owner of this theater.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Dunn is here. And Mr. Dunn, if you'll just say your name and spell your name for me and then record your address.
Yeah, my name is Matt Dunn, M-A-T-T, last name D-U-N-N-E. My address is 1092 Onwensia. It's Onwentsia Court in Naperville, Illinois, 60563.
Thank you. And if you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the statements you're about to give before the Beverage Licensing Authority are true and correct?
I do.
And do you swear or affirm that the premise has been posted at least 10 days prior to today's hearing?
It was, yes.
Thank you. I'll hand it over to the board.
And Mr. Prophet, since you're representing his counsel, I'd ask if you'd be willing to waive the readings of the procedures into the record.
We're willing to waive them, yes.
Great. And is there any ex parte communication or conflicts of interest from any of the board members? Member Califano, no.
Member Absalom, no.
Member Carr, no.
Member Roberts, no.
All right. And is there anyone here in the attendees that wishes to speak to this agenda item? If you could please raise your hand. Not seeing any. All right, Mr. Prophet, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Califano. And just quickly as a point of order, and I do apologize, I was trying to find the button to raise my hand as Ms. Kellogg's was introducing us. On the agenda, the address for our facility is mistaken, and I don't know if it was read into the record as it appears on the agenda or if that has been changed. Our proper address is 1700 29th Street in Boulder, Colorado, 80301. Not a big deal, but I thought I should make that correction for the record. So thank you.
Thank you. It was not read into the record, so you're good with that. But if we could get that amended, Caitlin, that'd be great.
Yes, no problem. The proper address is 1700 29th Street.
Okay, thank you. And so we are here today on a renewal that was received after the 45-day renewal deadline in Boulder. Our apologies to this board and staff regarding that late renewal. The renewal in this particular matter is handled by a licensed compliance specialist who is relatively new with Cinemark. He was hired in April of 2023. His name is Mr. Chris Murphy, and I believe he was the gentleman that worked with staff to complete the renewal and get it uploaded to the system properly and correctly by October 30th of 2023, about 3 weeks prior to the license expiration, but after the October 5th deadline. Mr. Murphy is in charge of approximately 192 alcohol beverage locations across the country, and many of those locations have multiple liquor licenses as well as others. He handles about 100 renewals of permits and licenses a month. In this particular situation, he has done other Colorado renewals for Cinemark facilities, but had never done a Boulder renewal, was unaware at the time of the 45-day prior to expiration deadline. When he became aware of that deadline, he reached out to staff and communicated with staff and was able to get everything filed in approximately 10 days, including all of the training materials, certifications, and the rest. Mr. Murphy simply was mistaken on how Boulder is a bit different than other Colorado jurisdictions with a paper application, and therefore missed the email that had been received from Boulder identifying the 45-day deadline. Again, our apologies. Certainly it is a mistake on our side, one of training and or understanding this local jurisdiction's processes. I think importantly, the application was received by Boulder well in advance of the actual expiration of the license. And now that Mr. Murphy is more in tune with how Boulder handles its renewals, we're hoping this is a mistake, certainly that Mr. Murphy or other members of staff do not make again in the future. So our apologies. Mr. Dunn, as I mentioned earlier, he's the Senior Director of Food and Beverage for Cinemark, including overseeing this theater. If you were to have any questions regarding our sales, service, and training, he is certainly knowledgeable and up to speed on those policies and procedures if you have any questions regarding that. But again, we don't believe that there's any good cause not to renew this license. Our apologies, and we would ask that you would accept our renewal. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Profit. Are there any questions from the board?
I have one question. Mr. Profit, or Mr. Dunn, what will be done in the future to prevent another licensing person from missing this date?
We've updated our records, the record keeping that we have on each individual license to note the early application timeline for this one. So as it comes up in the calendar now, it's automated that it'll pop up 60 days prior to give us notice that it's renewed. It needs to be renewed at least 45 days beforehand.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great. Any other questions from the board? Not seeing any. Mr. Profit, is there anything else you'd like to close with?
Nothing further, Mr. Califano. Thank you for your time.
Great. We'll close for deliberation at this point. Is there a motion? Member Califano would move to approve the renewal.
Member Roberts will second that approval.
All in favor say aye. Member Califano, aye.
Member Absalom, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Roberts, aye.
Renewal approved.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we have agenda item 9, which is public hearing and consideration of an application filed on October 27th, 2023 from Whole Foods Market, Rocky Mountain / Southwest LP, DBA Whole Foods Market, 695 South Broadway, Boulder, Colorado, 80305. Michael Deal, Director, Anthony Gallo, President and Director, Keith Manbeck, Treasurer, Manager and President, Heather Stern, Vice President and Secretary, Jay Warren, Secretary and Manager, and Carrie McGinnis, Registered Manager, with the business mailing address of P.O. Box 684786, Austin, Texas 78768, for a modification of premise of a fermented malt beverage and wine retailer off-premise liquor license. And if you're here to speak on this matter, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, and I see that Liquor Bros is in, and Mr. Kevin Coates is here. Okay, and then Mr. Coates, if you'll just record your appearance and then let me know who will be testifying today.
Thank you very much. You know, you always have to give me a couple of minutes there to click the right buttons because I'm not that quick at this stuff. I apologize. Kevin Coates here on behalf of Whole Foods. And we are present here today. My registration number is 25995. I'm from Dillon Dill. Eva Garrettson is here from Liquor Pros to talk about the petition survey that was previously filed. And then Jared Pincos is present. He's the day-to-day manager at the Whole Foods.
Thank you. Ms. Garrettson, I'll start with you. If you'll just say your name, spell your name and state your address for the record.
Did I unmute? Okay, there I am. For the record, my name is Eva Garrettson, last name Garretson, one of the owners of Liquor Licensing Professionals doing business as Liquor Pros. We are at 5515 Saddle Rock Place in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you so much. And I'll swear you in here. Do you swear or affirm that the statements you're about to give before the Beverage Licensing Authority are true and correct?
I do. Yes.
Do you swear? Thank you. And do you swear or affirm that the premise has been posted at least 10 days prior to today's hearing?
Yes, ma'am, it was. Yes.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Pincos, no problem. Mr. Pincos, I'll kind of have you do the same thing. Say your name, spell your name, state your address for the record.
My name is Jared Pincos, Jared Pincos. I'm the manager here at the Whole Foods Market on 695 South Broadway, Boulder, Colorado, 80305.
Thank you. And if you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the statements you're about to give before the Beverage Licensing Authority are true and correct?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right. And Mr. Coates, since you're representing as counsel, I'd ask if you'd be willing to waive the reading of the proceedings into the record.
We do.
Great. And is there any ex parte communication or conflict of interest from any of the board members? Member Califano, no.
Member Absalom, no.
Member Carr, no.
Member Roberts, no.
Great. Is there anyone here in the attendees that wishes to speak to this agenda item? If you'd please raise your hand. Not seeing any. All right, Mr. Coates, you may proceed.
Based upon that last question, I assume that it's just us, Ms. Garrettson and Mr. Pincos and myself. No one's here in opposition based upon your request for them to raise their hand. Is that my understanding of this process? It's always a little hard, when I'm not seeing everybody that's in the field.
There's some attendees that are here that are not with your group, but nobody raised their hand, so you're good to go.
Thank you. I appreciate your time. I think we'll make a presentation here for a modification of our current license premise to an after premise that includes some permanent display for wine. No one here will be in opposition, it sounds like, so we'd ask that the authority approve that at the conclusion of the hearing. We'll start with Ms. Garrettson in terms of the petition and survey, if that's appropriate with the chair.
Please do.
Thank you. Ms. Garrettson, you were previously sworn in, is that correct?
That is correct.
Would you please tell us who you are and what you do and why you're here for this particular modification matter?
Yes, sir. Once again, for the record, my name is Eva Garrettson, one of the owners of Liquor Licensing Professionals doing business as Liquor Pros. Going on my 7th year of owning the company. And we recently discovered that we've done surveys in the state of Colorado in 100 jurisdictions, on 100 separate jurisdictions. So very proud of that, very proud of my crew, because they are the backbone of us. So very proud of my crew. We are located at 5515 Saddle Rock Place in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And we conducted the needs and desires survey regarding the modification of a fermented malt beverage and wine off-premises type liquor license for Whole Foods Market located at 695 South Broadway, there in Boulder, Colorado.
And in terms of this modification application that you've been hired to do the petition survey, tell us a little bit about that process and what it is that you found.
Yes, sir. So like other licenses of similar types and the process and procedure there in Boulder, we were handed all the petition packets, the map of the boundary area, and posted the premises and sent documentation, I believe, on July 4th of 2024. Once again, reminding the surveyor what type of liquor license is being applied for. And going back, Ms. Roberts, just to let you know, we did contact other licenses of similar types, including the retail liquor stores as well. I know they weren't documented on the report, but we did notify them. Both of the retail liquor stores did sign on our petition packets. King Soopers and Safeway did not give us any feedback. It was against their policy to provide any feedback, and we could not find an owner or manager at the gas station that was inside the area. So, but we did give them proper notification as well. Also let them know that the hearing information was also on the petition packets as well as posted on the premises. We conducted the needs and desires on Tuesday, November 28th of 2023 and Wednesday, November 29th of 2023. Made attempted contacts with 446 business owners, managers, and residents inside the area, and we were able to obtain a total of 128 signatures. 40 were from business owners and managers, 36 signing in favor at 90%, 4 opposed at 10%. We then asked those folks or residential signatures, we were able to obtain 88 of those, 70% signed in favor at 80%, 18 were opposed at 20%. If we combine these totals, we actually have 83% signing in favors, just the raw numbers with 106 signatures, and 17% opposed with 22 signatures. Once again, we do ask those folks to write in why they are in favor or support of this license. 18 declined to provide us a reason, 2 stated there was enough or too many in the area, and 2 stated that they support small businesses. Even just the raw number of 83, given the other types of licenses of similar type that we've done inside here, 83% is about the norm that we've seen in here. Still clearly shows a positive need and desire for the modification, and that the existing outlets have not yet met that need.
You mentioned a report that's given to us essentially of the other outlets that are within the defined boundary as given to us by the city. That report only lists the fermented malt beverage and wine retailer licensees. Is that correct?
It was attached to the boundary map. Yes, sir.
And we don't get a report related to the liquor stores or the retail liquor stores, drugstore liquor stores that are within the defined boundaries. Is that correct?
No, sir. No, sir.
Did you take it upon yourself, however, to go out and find out what those are within the boundary and make contact with those retail liquor stores to ask their opinion associated with this particular petition and survey?
Yes, sir. Given the area that this was in, we were familiar. We've done the Safeway location as well. Bailey sits right around the corner from there. They were notified of the last license, so we thought it just stayed in our consistency to re-notify them again. And then, of course, we did the Boulder Wine and Spirits as well, and they provided feedback as well. So, seeing as that they're also a license of off-premise type, and we wanted to stay consistent with what we've done there in Boulder. Once again, addressing any concerns with the board, we just take it upon ourselves to go and notify those companies.
And to sum up that participation for those who held a fermented malt beverage and wine retailer class license, there was no participation from any of those types of licensees. Is that right?
No, sir, there was not.
You mentioned 2 other stores, one outside the boundary and one inside the boundary. There's a third that's inside the boundary. Is that Petty John's? Is that correct?
I believe so.
And they marked that they're in opposition essentially to issuance of this license in your petition and survey. Is that right?
No, actually it was, I think there was on page 3, Broadway Wine and Spirits signed in favor and Bailey's signed in opposition. Bailey's Wine and Spirits.
One was in favor, one was in opposition. And I thought there was a Petty John's on there as well that's within your boundary map that also marked opposition. Is that correct? And the point of all of this is that
we
you
did. Yes,
yeah.
That is correct. That is correct. They are at the top. I apologize. Yes, the 613 Broadway. Yes.
And the point of this is you went to everybody.
Yes.
It sells the beer and wine or spirits for that matter for off-premise consumption within the defined boundary, correct?
Yeah, we try and be as transparent as possible just because of in the past, these license types have been a concern to our local and locally owned and operated retailers. So wanted to make sure that everybody had a clear understanding of what was going on.
I think you said your petition shows a positive need and a desire essentially for issuance of this class of license within the defined boundary. Does it also show that the current outlets, all that you just described, are not meeting the need of the neighborhood based upon the results?
That is correct.
Very good. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the authority that I haven't asked you a question about?
No, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate your time very much, Ms. Garrettson, as always. And I tender you to the authority for any additional questions they may have.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for Ms. Garrettson? I just want to put on the record and say appreciate you going to every liquor store, regardless of the license in the area. I think legally they don't really have a say because it's not necessarily their same type of liquor license, but I think the heads up and letting them know in the neighborhood is always a good thing.
I've always felt that it was fair on that end too, just because I think if they do have any concerns, and once again, Chair, we do invite those folks in to the public hearing so that they can address the authority directly. But I just think it's transparent for all of us once we do it for these types of licenses. So thank you for that.
Any other questions? All right, not seeing any. Mr. Coates?
Thank you. May Ms. Garrettson be excused? Subject, obviously, if somebody raises their hand later and we need her, we'll call her back. But I don't think that's going to happen. So if we can ask that she may be excused.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye, Eva.
Bye-bye.
We would call Mr. Pinkos at this point.
Hey, Kevin.
How you doing? If I may, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Mr. Pinkos, could you please tell us your full name, spell your last name for
it? Jared Pinkos, Pinkos.
And what is your role here today, Mr. Pinkos?
Well, today, as I have been since 2021 when we opened, I'm the store manager here at the Whole Foods Market on 695 South Broadway.
You were here for our original hearing, if I remember correctly, when we obtained this license. Is that right?
I sure was. Yeah.
Very, very good. Very good. And how's business been since you obtained the license in terms of compliance associated with the alcohol laws?
It's been in compliance the entire time.
Compliant, but in compliance, I think I heard you say, if that's a fair statement. Very, very good. You guys haven't had any issues or troubles associated with the liquor code or any type of liquor violations or any type of things like that?
No, we have not.
On top of the renewals every year in terms of timeliness and making sure that they're filed timely along with the necessary documentation associated with training and experience of your employees.
Correct. Yeah, we haven't had any issues.
Why are we here today?
We're looking for a permanent location for our wine sold in the store right now. We've got temporary displays. They move every 2 weeks, and it becomes pretty inconvenient for a customer to be able to find their product week to week when they're shopping with us.
So tell us a little bit about, and using your floor plan, if you might, where are you going to put this permanent display and what the volume of it is?
Do you want me to pull up a floor plan?
If you have a copy of it, you can just verbally talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the plan is to move our olive bar over just a little bit, create a permanent aisle next to the olive bar, right in front of our specialty counter, which is our department that handles wine in the store.
And have your customers essentially been asking you for this in terms of trying to have a localized space essentially to put wine product?
Yeah. That's the difficulty is, someone asks for a specific bottle of wine. It's a walk all around the store to try to find where that might be, as opposed to one central wine department.
And in terms of this space, how'd you find this spot? Why'd you choose this spot? Essentially, as depicted in the diagram to put the wine.
It's one of the few spaces without a permanent fixture already. So there's a little bit of reload with the olive bar, but all we have are tables in that area, so we're able to move the tables and create a permanent space.
Will anything change in terms of day-to-day operations, particularly as it relates to alcohol sales, point of sale system, security, that type of thing, with this movement essentially of wine to a permanent spot?
No, it'll be easier to stock, but no other operational changes.
In fact, it might make it more secure and easier to keep an eye on if, in fact, it's in one centralized location.
True. Yeah, it'll be all in the same place.
Very, very good. And you have been in compliance with the temporary display requirements in terms of making sure that those are only temporary in nature and they're out there on the floor.
Very much, yes.
What do we call those? Case stacks or something to that effect?
Yep.
And as essentially just some wine stocked up on an end cap or in the aisle. Is that right?
Yep. 3 or 4 cases at a time of one particular wine in an area that makes sense.
Will this help free up some space for customers to be able to move around the store more freely as well?
Yeah, it will.
Is this what the customers want essentially in terms of modification, to be able to have more of a centralized location where the wine products will be?
That is the feedback that I've gotten. Yes.
And is there any change to the beer or the beer display that you have on site?
No, not planning any changes to beer.
And if you could briefly tell the authority a little bit about what training requirements you have, just so that they can be confident in that we'll have lawful sales essentially, or lawful sales essentially of alcohol.
Yeah, anyone that either receives, stocks, or sells beer or wine in the store goes through an in-person tips training course before they can do any of those things, before they can receive, before they can stock, and before they can sell at the register.
And nothing has changed, obviously, since 2001 with respect to that program that's been successful.
Yeah, it went from online to in-person at some point. I don't remember if it was 21 or 22, but we do the in-person now. Yeah.
It went in-person to online, back to in-person.
Something like that. Yeah, probably.
COVID, I think that's what caused all of that. Is that fair?
Yeah, probably.
All done in person now, though, right?
Yes, it is.
And in compliance with the special rules that Boulder has associated with reporting that on an annual basis for liquor renewals.
Yep, I send that information myself every year.
Very good. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the authority that I haven't asked you a question about?
No, I don't think so.
I would ask one last thing. I mean, obviously, this is all in compliance with zoning, or otherwise we wouldn't be here in the first place.
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, I tender you to the authority, and I appreciate your time for any additional questions that they may have.
Thanks.
Are there any questions for Mr. Pincos from the board?
I have a couple questions.
Oh, go for it.
So these new displays, they're only for wine, is that correct?
Correct. Like they're regular grocery shelves. They would just have
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have currently your end caps and your stacks of beer all over. Is that going to stay, and this is in addition to, or are you going to be removing your floor?
Yeah, we're going to be removing those and putting them in a central location. Yeah, we'll still have a few. There's always a few required like promo items, something that's on sale that might go with an end cap, but the goal is to reduce that spread throughout the store into one place.
Okay, cool. So we're not looking at like a big increase in volume. You're still in compliance there. Okay.
Yeah, no increase in volume.
Okay, that's all.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? Not seeing any. All right, Mr. Coates, is there anything else you wanted to present?
I don't have anything else for the authority. It's certainly here to answer any additional questions. Just ask that the authority approve the modification and send it on to state based upon making a prima facie case. And no one was here to object. In fact, I think the liquor store, it may not qualify to object, but nonetheless had the opportunity to. They were present here earlier. They're the ones that were for it. So in the petition and survey that you saw from Ms. Gerritsen. So I think this is a better thing for the customer, frankly, to be able to not have to search around the store to find out what they want. So I'm asking the authority to, or we're asking the authority to essentially approve the modification.
Great, thank you. At this point, we'll close for deliberation. Is there a motion?
Member Carl will make a motion to approve.
Member Absalom would second.
All in favor say aye. Member Califano, aye.
Member Absalom, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Roberts, aye.
Permanent modification approved.
Thank you. You folks all have a great day and appreciate the time today. Take care. Bye.
Okay, thank you. All right. Next we have agenda item 10, matters from Assistant City Attorney, and I'll hand it over to Christiana.
Thanks, Caitlin. I just have one item for the board today, and that is to introduce CAO's new Deputy City Attorney, Roberto Ramirez. We are working with Roberto to transition to him taking over all licensing matters for the city, including the BLA. So we'll be working with him. He and I will be working together over the next couple of months on that transition. So you'll be seeing both of us and chatting with both of us, including at your retreat, which will hopefully stay scheduled in March. And I will turn it over to Roberto to give a brief introduction.
Hi, everyone. I am Roberto Ramirez. I spent 10 years with the city of Arvada, and every now and again, I would sub in for their counsel at the Liquor Authority. So I know maybe 1% of anything that I need to learn, but I'm really excited to be joining you guys.
Great. Well, thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, great. Next we have agenda item 11, which is matters from licensing clerk. In your packet, you had an amended agenda that included a boundary setting, and so we'll do that. So the first, it's just one boundary setting. Sorry. It's for Hill Hotel Operating LLC DBA Moxie Boulder for a new hotel restaurant type liquor license at 1247 Pleasant Street, Boulder, Colorado 80302. And then I'll share my screen here. I took the suggested boundaries from Everyday Store 5700 at 1275 13th Street. And should be able to see the map. So this is the location, and then Everyday Store is just this area right here. There's Arapahoe, there's Baseline, City Limits, and then 20th Extended.
I would move to expand the north boundary to Canyon at least, maybe even Pearl. And what was it on the east?
On the east, 20th Street Extended.
And the south was that Baseline?
Yes.
Okay. I agree that I think we should have the north boundaries be up to Pearl.
And I would almost change the east boundary because, I mean, you're getting all of campus there. I don't know if I'd go as far as 30th, but what are people's thoughts on that?
I think 30th makes sense, given that most of that is campus space where people don't really live.
So I would make a motion for city boundaries on the west, Baseline on the south, 30th on the east, and Pearl Street Extended on the north.
Member
I'll second that motion.
Yeah, yep.
Who was first and who was second?
Member Carr was the second, I believe.
Okay. All right. All in favor say aye. Member Califano, aye.
Member Absalom, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Roberts, aye.
Great. Thank you so much.
I was waiting for that one to come before us.
Oh, yeah. Kristen Teague has been working hard on that one. So you'll see that one in February. Okay, great. So there's no transfers for January, no breweries, wineries, or distilleries. Your special event permit list is in there in your packet. And then we just have a couple of informational items to go over. I'm going to go a little out of order. I'm going to talk about board recruitment first. Board recruitment is currently open. We're going to have 2 seats for Beverage Licensing Authority. The recruitment ends on January 29th. I believe that's correct. And then the city clerk's office will be conducting interviews after that, after the January 29th end day. And then the new members the council appointments will be on March 7th. and then new members will start on April 1st. That's when their term will begin, is on April 1st. So that's kind of the timeline for there. I sent an email that's also included in the packet to our correspondence list that we have for board recruitment, and then also to you all, so you have that information if you know anyone who's interested. And yeah, that's kind of it for board recruitment. I'm gonna hand it over to Kristen to talk about BLA retreats.
Good afternoon, board members. Kristen Changaris, licensing manager. So we do have the retreat scheduled for Wednesday, March 13th at 4 p.m. It will be held in person at the Brenton Building at 1136 Alpine Avenue. And we've included a draft of the proposed retreat agenda in your packet. So we'd love your feedback if anyone has any proposed changes or anything else you'd like to see on the agenda.
Should we consider pushing it back if we have a new board member starting April 1st? Maybe we shouldn't have the retreat in April once we have new board members.
That's a great question. So one thing that we were planning to do for the new members, so even though their term doesn't officially begin until April 1st, we were planning to reach out to all of the final applicants and let them know that we have this retreat scheduled. It is open to the public, so any new members would still be able to attend the retreat. So I just wanted to add that, but if you all wanted to discuss moving it, that's definitely something that we could talk about.
I suppose if the new board members are already elected and they can come, I would just hate for someone new to miss out on that because it really was it's a good intro.
And just in terms, just as member apps on here, so just in terms of that, my term will be ending at that time. So we're still missing another spot once my term ends, right? So those are the 2 seats we're missing, correct? And I will be unable to attend in person in March. As I would like to attend as my term's ending no matter what, but I will be, so I think pushing it back makes sense. I totally agree with member Roberts. Maybe we can find something a little bit later once we see the new faces and kind of, that's just, I agree with that suggestion.
If we go that route, I do have to say I just started a grad course that's Tuesday, Thursday evenings. So I would still like to stick with a Wednesday evening.
Yeah, I think we're just talking about a later date, right? Just pushing it maybe a month or like a month back.
I was thinking just a month, yeah.
Just into April.
Maybe have a retreat before their first meeting. Sounded like good timing.
I'm available in April, so I could be available for that. And then I'll talk later about potentially extending to another term. I mean, I still have a residency in Boulder. As you can see, I'm not in Boulder at the moment. So I'm willing to explore that option, but I can talk about that further down the road. But that being said, I think April works better just with new members. So I like that suggestion. I can be there too.
Do we want to say April 10th? It's a Wednesday. I don't know if that works for everyone else. But, yeah, I'm open that day. And then that's a week before our first meeting. Or, it would be before their first meeting. What these new people are.
That makes sense.
It is the start on conference on world affairs, but I should be good for an evening session.
Great. Well, we will discuss that new date with city staff and follow up with you at the February meeting. In the meantime, is there any feedback on the agenda topics?
Remind me what a CAO is?
The city attorney's office.
Obvi. Thank you.
Just a thought, do we ever invite RAR or Nathan to join us at these? I don't think he was there last year, but should we consider bringing him or inviting him to present to us or talk to us about what he's working on?
I think the invitation's always been there, but I don't think there's been any attendance. They are open to the public, so anybody could really attend.
The one thing I'm just seeing that I'm missing that I remember us discussing is the format of petitioning. I know we had spoken about that over time, and I don't know if we want to go over that. But I think we've had some moments of understanding petitioning in a certain way, and I thought maybe that'd be something might be worthwhile, especially for new board members to understand the petitioning process. That would just be a suggestion from my end, which could fall under rules of procedure, I suppose. But
If there's a consensus, we're happy to add that as an agenda item to discuss at the retreat.
Can we do a little subdivision of rules and procedures?
Certainly. Great. Any other suggestions? All right. Thank you, everyone. Like I said, we'll discuss the April 10th date internally and then provide another update to the board at the February meeting.
Cool. Thanks, Kristen. Last item on the agenda is matters from chair and members of the authority.
Christiana, I just had one quick question. Do I need to recuse myself from the Hill Hotel agenda item because I live in the defined boundaries?
No, usually conflicts of interest are what require a recusal, and a conflict of interest would only occur if you have some sort of like direct or substantial interest in the application. So just living in the boundaries doesn't usually constitute a direct or substantial financial interest in the application.
Great, thank you. Anything else from any of the other board members?
I just wanted to apologize that I missed November when I first made a move here. My internet was so bad, but now it's all working out. So I'll be back in Boulder shortly, but want to say hello from Mexico. I know it's very cold there.
Where in Mexico?
I live in Sayulita.
Coastal?
Yeah, I'm on the West Coast near Vallarta. Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday morning was -13 when I got up.
I'm not going to tell you what the weather's like here. I won't say it.
I actually think I read an article that said it was colder here in the Denver metro area than it was in Antarctica that day.
I saw that headline.
Yep. I mean, the entire United States is getting crazy temperatures right now, and it's hard when you're living in the Pacific coast of Mexico. But I'm sending my love, and I'll get on my surfboard for you guys today.
Don't gotta rub it in.
I know I purposely blurred my background. I don't want to show you the palm trees behind me, but I really appreciate you all, and I do apologize about missing November, but I will be fully present for February, and I look forward to seeing. I have some recruitment ideas for some people I think that'll be great that I've been in contact with. So hopefully we get some great people, and I will be back in Boulder, and I'm willing to maybe extend my term. We'll see how that goes, but it's been a pleasure always, and it's always a pleasure to see you guys. I can make an motion to adjourn with that as well.
Member Califano would second it. All in favor say aye. Member Califano, aye.
Member Absalom, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Roberts, aye.
We are adjourned at 4:11 p.m.
Nice.
Oh, now we see. And you're pretty tan.
Thanks, guys.
See you, everyone.
Feliz año nuevo, okay? Ten cuidado. Adiós.
Ciao.